Hey everybody, Ryan here from Cold Harbor Supply, and we are in the mean streets of Toronto today. So pretty conspicuous that I'm wearing a helmet, but we're in the middle of a heat wave and it is way too hot today to be wearing a helmet, which is why we're going to be talking about helmet alternatives, also known as head harnesses, or we like to affectionately call them boneless helmets. One of them is going to be the Tracer, the other one in my backpack is going to be the 4D Tactical, and we're going to go over their features, why you might want to use them, and how they work. So let's get into it. So the main reason that people are going to choose a head harness over something like a helmet is obviously going to be portability. Even for people that already own a helmet, I would actually recommend having something like a head harness just to augment your capabilities. If you want to go out for a hike, or if you're doing stuff like recon work or low profile mission stuff, the head harness is just a lot more of a smaller option. So as you can see, this is an OpsCore Carbon. It's already a really light helmet, and it's about as light and as small as you can go for helmets. This is a bump helmet as well, so for ballistic helmets, you're gonna be even bigger and heavier. And this can barely fit into my backpack. Now, this might not be the wisest thing in the world in Toronto, but I am carrying a backpack full of night vision and equipment for more than just myself. So in here, I have some nods and I have my camera. So obviously we have some cool media equipment. And I have here a really nice Uniqlo fanny bag. This thing is pretty cheap, but what's nice is you can put this on and now you still have capabilities of mounting night vision because I have a cool 4D Tactical SOF cap in there. So even one of the bigger head harnesses like this SOF cap, which I consider to be more of a helmet replacement, can fit snugly inside a backpack and be crunched down. The Tracer takes that a little bit further. One of the requirements that he talked about actually was making it ultra packable. So this can be folded up even tinier than the SOF cap because it doesn't have any padding in it. We're gonna get into the differences a bit more later, but this also fits inside. And now in this regular size backpack, I have enough equipment for two, and if I were to compact this even more, probably even more people. So as you can see, gigantic size difference between a helmet and head harnesses. Another thing to put into context for head harnesses was actually, we just got back from a convention called OPEX, where we're talking to a lot of law enforcement, military guys. And a lot of those guys don't actually always need to have a ballistic or a bump helmet on them. They're doing really quick reconnaissance work. So to illustrate again, what's really cool about this is I have here a Tanto on a Raj, just a little J-arm here. And I have my Tracer here, which also fits in there. And now I can put this on over here, whoop, clicks in, and I can put this on my head like so. And while, yes, I understand I'm in the streets of Toronto, I'm in public and I'm wearing a multicam hat, but you have a really quick deploying little recon option that works totally fine. And just to showcase the stability of this is a ultralight housing with an ultralight arm, so it is one of the smaller options out there. But with this and no chin strap, I can look around and I can whip my head around pretty quickly. There is a small counterweight on the back. I believe it's about 200 grams, but it works totally fine. And I can see through this, no problem. And now obviously I can move it out of the way. And if I wanted to dismount this, I could easily do that and put it back in my bag. I do at this point want to go over a bit more of the features of the Tracer harness just because we have it out. So the Tracer harness, when you get it, it's going to be disassembled off the bat. It's gonna have all the straps and stuff. So it's really, really customizable. I've seen people do some pretty crazy mods to it. And as you can see, I already did one here, which is attaching the Tracer harness itself to a Carcajou Tactical, which is a great Canadian brand. Bravo 6 Boonie. It looks pretty cool, a la Captain Price style of Call of Duty fame, and it works really well. And especially on this hot day, it's kind of nice to be able to combine your night vision mount with a sun hat as well. So that's really great. Normally, this thing also comes in the box with a chin strap, but I'm not using that today. If I wanted a little bit more attention, the Carcajou Boonie does come with this paracord strap, and because this is an ultralight setup, I don't really need much chin retention, so it works really fine. One of the downsides to any head harness is it's not rigid. So as you can see when I'm putting it on, it kind of squishes like this. You can't really just plop it on your head like a helmet because there's no rigidity to it. You do need to kind of stretch it out a little bit. And for the Tracer, a lot of people have trouble setting it up, and I would recommend taking your time to set it up and size it to your head, but it actually fits really well once you get that done. Just a quick tip, what I recommend is the elastic part on the back of the Tracer, that's not supposed to go around your head, at least from what I find, like a baseball cap does, just right behind here. You actually want it to kind of sit against the nape of your neck, so where your head kind of curves into your neck. and it holds really nice there. So I'm just gonna demonstrate that one more time. So normally when I put this on, I kind of grab the rear, and the string is gonna be a little bit in the way, but I'm gonna string it up over there, and I just grab the elastic and pull it down, and then I readjust the rest of the cap. And as you can see, after a little bit of adjustment, it fits quite snug. So just a little bit of a tip, that elastic part goes around the bottom of your neck, or the top of your neck, and that's how you kind of get it to fit on your head really well and really securely, and you don't even need that much chin retention, especially if you're running an ultralight setup like these Tanto goggles. So the Tracer is going to be a really great option for those guys looking for ultralight minimalism. These can be, like I said, easily customized as well. I've seen guys do some pretty crazy mods to them. We attached ours to a propeller beanie, as you might have seen from our April Fool's post. I've seen guys also incorporate different harnesses, padding, different hats, different mounts and stuff like that into it. So because it's really modular, infinite amount of customizations, it's really up to your imagination how you want to set it up. Out of the box, from us, it does have a few choices of shrouds. You can get a simple PGD shroud, which works great, or you can get the fancy Unity shroud like I have here. And it will also come with a part for a counterweight kit in the back. There is a dedicated counterweight kit that we also have, and as well, there is something called the Precore strap. So if you don't want to run a counterweight on the back, you just want a quick adjust thing for just wearing quickly. It's basically like a strap on a sling. It adjusts quickly, and you can tension that to your head. You can tension that to your head really effectively without any effort. A lot of people ask, does this thing work with heavier goggles? And the answer is yes. I have here a Manticore R. Now, this is a lot heavier than a Tanto. It's not the heaviest goggle in the world. It's not like a RPNVG or a 1431, but it is a bit heavier of a goggle. I believe this thing with the battery weighs about 565 grams, according to our scale. And if I were to attach this on right now and put this on my head, I will show you how well it works, and it does work pretty well. So now I have the Manticore R on my head, and I'm gonna pull that strap down across my neck like we illustrated before, and I can swing this around, no problem. Of course, if you splay it out, I do recommend having an articulating goggle for these purposes because it brings the center of gravity closer to your neck, and I'm not feeling really the helmet or the head harness move in any significant way. Of course, if I put this over my eyes, I'm just gonna adjust that a bit, it's totally fine, and I can use this as a quick observation tool without any issues. However, if you want something that's a bit more of a helmet replacement and not just a head harness, that's where we're gonna go with the alternative option that we also carry, which is the 4D Tactical SOF cap. And this thing is pretty much a boneless helmet, as we like to call it. It's super comfortable, and it has a lot more features than the Tracer at the cost of being a bit heavier, a bit more expensive, and also not as low profile. So it makes a really great helmet replacement for those of you who want to run something that is lighter, like today on a hot day, but something that has nearly the same features as a helmet. So we're gonna go over that a little bit. So inside the 4D, as you can see, the Tracer is unpadded right here, but the 4D actually carries the famous 4D memory foam padding, just like you would see in a conventional helmet that's attached to my bag that is not pulling off. But it's really comfortable. Some guy actually asked us, can I take this and buy it and then use this for my normal helmet? The answer is kind of. It doesn't come with all the same pads. It's more proprietary to this, but if you really finagled it, I'm sure you can figure it out. But because they're memory foam, they're really comfortable. As well, it comes with a full BOA harness for your head. So the BOA harness is very much like the harnesses you would find on a PGD helmet or a Team Wendy. It's also super comfortable, and it just creates a really nice wearing experience. So you have memory foam and a BOA harness that you can cinch on your head. It also comes with, as you can see, a bit more Velcro on top. So if you wanted to take something like, let's say I have this E-light over here and you wanted to put it on, it's just a bit easier to do. With the Tracer, you probably have to modify it to do it. I'm sure you can, but because this thing is like a helmet, it's really easy to put on different Velcro accessories on it. It also comes with a Unity shroud, just like the Tracer does, if you so wish. So the 4D is not immune to the kind of structural, I would say, considerations of any head harness. You still have to kind of shimmy it on your head, but it is really easy. It does have a bit more structure than others because of those pads inside. You just kind of plop it on and you shimmy it on like this, like so. And I can already tell you that this thing feels awesome, even with these full metal goggles on, because of that padding on the inside. And then what I like to do is, as you can see with the BOA harness here, I just give that a few tightens and it locks it up really solid. I don't even need to do the chin strap, and I'm pretty good to go. If you do want to do the chin strap, you can, just like any other helmet. You can for extra security. You can obviously probably turn your head, go back to this thing with the chin strap on, no problem. Now what's kind of cool about this chin strap is it's ambidextrous, so it actually has buckles on both sides. So if you want to take it off completely for whatever reason, you can. Or if you're a lefty or a righty, it doesn't really matter. It works both ways. I'm running this with an EOG counterweight. This one is strapped in pretty good. We have the Velcro straps there. I believe this counterweight's about 400 or so grams, so it's a little bit less than the Manticore, but it still works really well. So if I move these goggles down, just got to adjust them a bit. This is pretty comfortable. Of course, I can't see anything on right now because it's daytime and I'm just trying these out for comfort, but this is really comfortable. I would have no issues, and I have had no issues using these with heavier goggles, even all the way up to, let's say, RNVGs, full aluminum goggles. I haven't tried a pano on this yet, but I'm sure it'd work fine too. So with both of these head harness options, they're not just for night vision, although of course that's its primary use. You can also buy them to replace a helmet for things like GoPros, action cameras, stuff like that. I've actually seen someone rig a GoPro like this just using the daytime to capture their action footage, and that was a really smart use. It was so obvious, but for some reason I didn't think of that. There's lots of uses for it. It really just depends on your creativity. So whether it be the ultralight tracer harness or the more helmet replacement style 4D, is a head harness the right thing for you? And even if you are a helmet owner, I think adding a head harness to your equipment list does add a lot of capability because it adds what helmets all lack, and that's portability. These things can be stuffed into a cargo pocket or a bag really easily, and then you instantly have a really capable head mount for your knots. Now, between these two, there are some considerations you might want to take in mind. So the Tracer is going to be your super lightweight, minimalist option with a lot of ability to customize it just because it's a really well-designed collection of straps. And it's super lightweight. You can fold this basically into a cargo pocket if you really wanted to. It's the smaller, lighter option. The more, I would say, comfortable option, and the one that's going to be a little bit bulkier, but adds things like a BOA harness and memory foam pads, is going to be the 4D. So if you're looking for a genuine helmet replacement, I think the 4D fits that bill really well. So with all that being said, you can find both of these things on our website at CHS. And with that, like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube-y stuff. This was a bit of a different style video that we did here today, more of a walk and talk. If you guys like that format, let me know. Even if you don't like that format, let me know. If you hate Toronto because you live elsewhere in Canada, let me know too, because we love that here at CHS. And with that, thanks for tuning in, everybody, and have a great day. I'm holding them like fish.